What's going on, everyone? So earlier today, LeBron James opted into his contract as expected, right? Heavy reporting that that's what he was going to do. But there were some very interesting statements by Rich Paul and then a interesting report from Shams Charania that kind of leads you to believe, like, is a trade in the works? Is a trade about to happen of LeBron James? Now, I don't think LeBron is going anywhere. I thought he would stick around. One, his family wanted to be here. That's why he came to LA, because that's where his family, his wife wanted to be, his kids want to go to school, right? Although now you could argue one son is in the NBA, his other son is going to Arizona, but even being in California, he's close enough to where he could travel and go to games and all that stuff. So I still don't think he leaves. But I do think that it's not something that we should rule out, and maybe more likely than ever, because the Lakers have Luka Doncic and they want to build around Luka, and they want to kind of position themselves for the future while still trying to maintain winning now, right? So it's kind of this like balance, but we've seen the balance is really hard to do, right? Having 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you usually got to pick a direction. Sometimes it works out and, you're trying to kind of retool a little bit and you end up winning a championship, right? Lakers' old motto, for those that may be old enough to remember, right, was we don't rebuild, we retool, right? That was like their whole campaign. They even had like posters and stuff about it and had like Gary Payton and Karl Malone and everyone on it, right? Like that's something that the Lakers are trying to do right now, right? They're trying to like retool this, but also position themselves long-term because they have Luka long-term, or they should have Luka long-term. Now, I will say though, LeBron James opting in is the best path for him to get traded. Now, I know people are going to say, but he has a no trade clause. No trade clause doesn't mean that he can't be traded. It just means he gets to decide where he gets traded. So, and look, Lakers were already open to trading him before if LeBron wanted. Lakers aren't going to trade LeBron just to trade LeBron. They're going to trade LeBron if LeBron wants to be traded. So LeBron would go to them and say, hey, I want to be traded. These are the teams that I want to be traded to. Here you go. But I want to read the statement, and then I want to read the Shams report, and then we'll dive into it a little more here. So this was from Rich Paul, after LeBron James opted in. Rich Paul says, he knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, and consider the Lakers as a critical part of his career. Kind of sounds like a farewell letter, right? Like, hey, they were great, great building block in my life, right? I was here for so long. It was beautiful, bon voyage type thing. And then he also says, he knows that they're building for the future, but he understands the value of realistically winning, right? He wants to win, right? So again, like the Lakers, they have to find those moves and those pieces. But here's what Shams said that's very interesting. LeBron James wants a chance to compete for another championship and has been monitoring the Lakers' moves this offseason, per Shams Charania. It remains to be seen how much of his playing future will be with the team. James, the NBA's career-leading scorer, wants to compete for a championship next season and potentially beyond, and will be closely monitoring the Lakers' moves and whether the team is positioning itself this offseason of field a title-contending roster. As Paul laid out, Rich Paul, it remains to be seen how much of his playing future will remain with the Lakers, despite what James has said in the past. So, again, even Shams is saying, like, if LeBron James feels like they haven't built a true contender, then he might leave, right? There is a chance that he leaves, right? The problem is where does he go, right? Because here's the issue for other teams, right? Other teams are looking at it as like, we don't know how much longer LeBron is going to play. Like, yes, LeBron last year, top 10 player. I mean, all NBA, everything, right? Like, he's still an incredible talent. He's still a guy that, he's not what he was in his prime. He's not a guy that can come in and just, that's it, now you're the best team in all of basketball and you're going to 8 finals, right? He's not that guy anymore. But if he is, you're at any point can turn it on and be that guy. But if he's like your second or third guy many nights, like what the Lakers are trying to do, where he kind of is now shifting more to like, hey, let the young guns kind of run the show, and then I'll just kind of fill in and blend in. But hey, when you need me, I'm here. Give me the rock type thing. Like, that's probably best for a team. But again, the uncertainty for a team of like, how long do we have, right? Like, if we trade for him, do we have 2 years? Is it this year next? Is it 3 years? Is it this year next and the following year? Right? Like, how does that play out? And how many teams can trade for LeBron and his, $52 million salary and still maintain a contender? Right? And on top of that, he has to want to go to that team. There might be a random team that's like, yeah, hey, we'll take LeBron. We'd love to have LeBron. They might want to do it just for financial purposes, but Lakers can't force a trade. LeBron has to want to go there. And LeBron has to view that team after you trade for him as a contender, which could put the Lakers in a bad spot. The only teams that really stand out that make sense would be Cleveland, because Cleveland could do something like a Jared Allen and a Darius Garland, right? And then go land a LeBron James. And then they've been talking about trading Jared Allen and moving Evan Mobley over to the 5 for some time now. So you'd have Mobley at the 5, LeBron at the 4. You'd still have Donovan Mitchell. They just got Lonzo Ball, right? You'd probably want to get another point guard just to be safe, but LeBron can always play point guard, right? They would still be deep, talented, versatile. Like, they'd have everything. You basically turn in, Darius Garland, which is an awkward fit, and then Evan Mobley for LeBron James. And then if I'm the Lakers, I'm keeping Jared Allen, because Jared Allen makes sense, but I would look to trade Darius Garland to a third team, right? Try to get a third team involved and see if you can get other pieces. Like, what can you get for a Darius Garland? Like, something like that I could see, because they're not going to trade an Evan Mobley, and they don't have I don't even think they have. I think they have one tradable pick, which is like the 2031 pick. So, maybe you get those two plus like LeBron for LeBron, right? You get Allen, but even then, I don't know if Cleveland would do that, right? I mean, I don't think they'd have a problem getting off of those guys and bringing in LeBron. They'd probably do that, but I don't know how much assets you can get on top of that, right? Like, and then it's like, okay, well, who else makes sense, right? Like, I would love, like, in Orlando, because Orlando has, like, several pieces that the Lakers need. Could you get a Wendell Carter Jr., Jalen Suggs, and a Jonathan Isaac plus some picks and assets, right? Maybe Orlando would be willing to pony up. But does he want to go to Orlando? Does he look at it as like me, Desmond Bane, right? Like, Paolo Banchero, like all that, those young guys, that makes sense for him. You look in the West, it's like, okay, Houston, like if you're like, would Houston do it? Because I mean, they have Kevin Durant, they're trying to go all in right now. So, like, could you maybe go to Houston and be like, hey, LeBron, you get to play with KD. I would want Şengün, but I don't see them training Şengün. So fine, let them keep Şengün. And then it's like, you have LeBron, Şengün, Kevin Durant, Amen Thompson, because they're definitely not going to trade Amen Thompson. All right, and then Fred VanVleet, and then the Lakers just take Jabari Smith Jr., Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore, and a bunch of, like, picks. Like, can you get a pick or two? Can you maybe get some of the Suns picks? Can you get one or two of the Suns picks? That's the problem, is finding a trade that makes sense, finding a trade that adds value, right? Lakers might have to get creative if they were to do something like that, because it's like, again, you do a Cavs trade, right, where LeBron could be looking at, and look, I made a video about this over on AAS The Lakers Show, where I was like, what if he's, because if you're LeBron, you got to be looking at the East. Like, I've always owned the East, and the East is wide open. Like, if I go to the Cavs, I'm probably in the NBA Finals. Right? Like, so is he looking at a situation like that? Is he looking at this and going like, man, like, if I go back to Cleveland, I can retire in Cleveland, you get the whole story of LeBron's last run, right? Boom, if I can bring another title to Cleveland, that would be huge. Right? So, he'd probably look at it as like, I'd probably walk to the NBA Finals as long as everyone's healthy. So again, is that something that he looks at? Where in the West, it's still uncertain, right? He could go to Houston, he could go to OKC, and there's still no chance that he wins a championship, right? There still would be question marks. But like, to me, I look at like Houston. Would Houston be willing to pony up what is necessary, right? He'd still be kind of in the area to where he could go and take flights and do all that stuff, whatever he needs. Golden State is a destination that has been linked to LeBron for some time, right? But like, who are you trading for now, right? Because they traded like Wiggins and a bunch of other things that would have made sense, that would have helped fill salary, but also made sense for the Lakers in the Jimmy Butler deal, right? Like, yeah, you could do a Jonathan Kuminga sign and trade, but you're not paying him $40 million, right? Like, you're paying him probably, I don't know, 20, 25 million, if that. Right, so let's say 25 million, and Moses Moody is another. I think he's making like 8 million. It's 33 million. You still got to come up with another 20 million. I don't want like Draymond and all that stuff. Like Draymond's not gonna want to leave if you're getting his buddy LeBron, and then like I don't want a bunch of just like random salary if you're the Lakers. Like you don't want to take on a bunch of like random players. Your books are clean, right? Like so if LeBron gets traded and like you go and get guys, like you could just clear your books and then kind of hit the reset button, but you still might be able to be really good. Honestly, I think the Cavs trade is probably the best trade for the Lakers and LeBron and everybody, right? Because like I said, you could do Jared Allen, Darius Garland. Boom, those two come, right? You solve your center position for the foreseeable future with Luka, and one of the better centers that the Lakers could probably get, right? So you get your center in Jared Allen, and then now you have Darius Garland, who teams have been trying to get for years, but Cavs have kind of been hesitant to trade him. Well, if you're the Lakers, he makes no sense because you have Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Also, this would give you the opportunity to really see what does Luka and Reeves look like, right? Like, are those two really enough? Because last thing you want to do is sign Reeves to a new contract and it doesn't work. And now you're paying Reeves $40 million. If LeBron gets traded and now you have Luka and Reeves, you get a year to kind of figure it out. Like, how does it look? If it's great, then yeah, okay, like now we just need to kind of keep tweaking around those two. But if it's like awkward or kind of like, yeah, this is probably not going to work, well, then now hey, maybe we should be trading Reeves by the trade deadline. Or maybe we sign and trade him in the offseason or something like that and then go get another star. Or if another star in 2026 does want to come, maybe just let everybody walk and sign that star, right? Especially if LeBron's not on the team, there might be guys that are like, hey, me and Luka can be that tandem, right? All these things I think are important to kind of keep in mind, but we'll see, right? Anyway, as always, this is a discussion, past question you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.